A Stockton Springs woman convicted of murdering her 3-year-old son is appealing that conviction. Good afternoon, I'm Susan Farley. 3 men have been arrested after a months-long investigation into drug trafficking in Penobscot County, and several protesters were arrested Wednesday afternoon during a sit-in at Bangor offices of Congressman Jared Golden. Thank you for joining us. We'll have more on these and other stories coming up. First, let's check in with meteorologist Devin Biggs. Devin?
Alrighty, happy Thursday afternoon. We're watching a winter weather advisory for the northwestern parts of the state up until about 3 o'clock today, though. We've been watching for some snow that has been falling from time to time as well, though. It does not look very impressive at all. It's all kind of tracking from the west to the east. It will mix in with a little bit of rain from time to time as well, and maybe a little bit of sleet later on tonight, too, as the system begins to move in. And we'll push in a little bit warmer air, too. We have one area of low pressure tracking off towards the east. We have this thing right about in here, though, and that's helping us send that precipitation in our direction. So the roads might get a little bit slippery from time to time, though, but most of this will mainly occur on the grassy surfaces with regards to the snow. But again, as we move forward towards this afternoon, though, again, a little bit of snow, a little bit of rain mixed in from time to time as well. Notice, though, a little bit of pink here as we get towards later this evening. That's a mixture of rain, sleet, and snow in some spots. Then it's all backs off later on tonight into parts of the daytime tomorrow. A little bit of wind we'll have to watch out for, roughly at around 5 miles per hour today. It'll start to pick up again later on tomorrow, though, with some spots reaching up to 12 miles per hour sustained from time to time. So for the rest of today, again, middle 30s, mostly cloudy, some rain and snow on the way. That northwest breeze getting up to about 5 miles per hour at times. Later on tonight, though, lower 30s, so temperatures may rise a little bit overnight with rain, sleet, and snow mixing in, along with some patchy fog and that east wind at about 5 miles per hour. Tomorrow, here we go, upper 40s, mostly cloudy and breezy, with that west wind getting up to about 25 miles per hour at times. Hourly forecast for the rest of the afternoon period showing some snow and rain mixed in with temperatures in the 30s. Your full 5-day forecast is coming up.
Thank you, Devin. A Stockton Springs woman who was sentenced in 2022 to nearly 50 years in prison for the murder of her 3-year-old child is attempting to appeal her conviction. Our Grace Blanchard was in the court and has the details.
In October of 2022, Jessica Williams of Stockton Springs was convicted of murdering her 3-year-old son, Maddox Williams, and sentenced to 47 years in prison. Oral arguments were made in court on Wednesday in an attempt to appeal that conviction and sentence.
This was perhaps one of the most public homicide prosecutions in recent years.
Rory McNamara is representing Williams. He argues there was no evidence Williams was with the child during the time the injuries were sustained.
And that there's simply insufficient evidence of causation here.
According to court records, the medical examiner previously testified that Maddox's injuries reflected a pattern of abuse.
The relationship between your client and the child, she was verbally abusive to him, rejecting him as resembling her former husband.
Assistant District Attorney Don Maycomber argued there should be no question of the jury's conviction.
He describes speculation and conjecture, but the jury picks up as his rational inferences.
According to the court, a deliberation process could take up to several months. In Bangor, Grace Blanchard for ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
There was a wild police chase yesterday in Skowhegan. There aren't many details available, but video captured by a bystander shows how it all came to an end. In this video shared by Zach Burwood, you see police from a number of agencies chasing a pickup truck through downtown Skowhegan. The truck turns into a parking area where authorities attempted to block him in. It appears the driver tried to get away, bumping into cruisers until it finally came to an end with police making the arrest at gunpoint. The video was captured by a worker who was in a bucket lift that was also bumped during the chase, but no one was seriously injured. More details on the chase and the man who was arrested should become available today. An inmate that walked away from a work site in Machias has been indicted by the Washington County Grand Jury. James Berube was the subject of a search last July after he walked away from his assigned work site at Maine Wild. He was an inmate at the Downey's Correctional Facility at the time of the incident and was serving a 12-year sentence for kidnapping, burglary, theft, arson, and eluding an officer. The grand jury indicted him for escape. 3 men have been arrested after a months-long investigation into drug trafficking. Maine Drug Enforcement Agency Commander Peter Arno says U.S. postal inspectors have been working with drug agents for months on the suspected distribution of significant quantities of cocaine throughout Penobscot County and other places. Early Tuesday morning, police stopped a vehicle just north of Newport driven by 28-year-old Chase Kane of Bangor. 27-year-old Benjamin Hughes of Brewer was with him. MDEA Commander Peter Arno says when they searched the vehicle, police found 4 pounds of cocaine with an estimated street value in excess of $200,000. Both Kane and Hughes are being charged with aggravated trafficking in cocaine. Police also searched 315 Griffin Road in Bangor, where Arno says they seized more drugs, firearms, and cash believed to be from drug sales. 30-year-old Hayden Taylor of Brewer was found with a loaded semi-automatic handgun and a backpack containing drugs. He's being charged with aggravated trafficking in drugs and possession of a firearm by a prohibited person. Multiple people are now facing drug charges stemming from a bust in Abbott. The Piscataquis County Sheriff's Office says deputies executed a search warrant at a property on the Monument Road in Abbott where they suspected drugs were being dealt. They say during the search, deputies seized 239 grams of fentanyl and 21 grams of meth along with some cash. 36-year-old Brandon Boutlier of Abbott was arrested for unlawful trafficking of a Schedule W drug and violation of conditions of release. Police say 34-year-old Katarina Drinkwater of Sangerville and 37-year-old Zane Harmon were present on the property. They were charged with illegal possession of a Schedule W drug. Several protesters were arrested Wednesday afternoon during a sit-in at the Bangor offices of Congressman Jared Golden. They're concerned with the bloodshed underway in occupied Palestine and are calling on the congressman to support legislation that calls for a ceasefire. According to WVII radio, the group released a statement saying, "For far too long, our government has aided and abetted the mass theft of Palestinian land and the mass imprisonment of Palestinian people on a small fraction of land that is rightfully theirs." They say our government is now supporting the slaughter, the collective punishment, and ethnic cleansing of innocent Palestinian men, women, and children. The group of protesters was arrested late yesterday afternoon after they refused to leave Golden's office. They were charged with criminal trespassing. A truck fire along I-95 South in Carmel left a traffic at a standstill Wednesday morning. According to the Maine Department of Public Safety, a concrete pumping truck was traveling down the highway when a fire started in the engine compartment. The driver pulled over as the fire intensified. Crews from Carmel Fire Department responded to the scene and put the fire out. DEP had crews called in to make sure the environmental impact was accounted for as they offloaded extra fuel from the truck, which belonged to Flagship Pumping LLC out of Plymouth. The official cause of the fire is still under investigation. The office of Governor Janet Mills says Maine's government is going to cover the cost of funerals for families who lost loved ones in the deadliest mass shooting in the state's history. The state is getting the money from a victims' compensation program run through the Attorney General's office and supplementing it with money from the governor's contingent account. Army Reservist Robert Card opened fire inside a Lewiston bowling alley and a bar on October 25th, killing 18 people and wounding 13 others. Several victims died while trying to protect children or attempting to subdue the shooter. Funerals for the victims of the shootings began last week. Mainers made their voices heard at the polls on Election Day. Following the election, our David Ledford spoke with a political science expert for a professional perspective on the results.
In an election with several hotly debated ballot questions, experts say questions 3 and 4 stood out as some of the most important last night. Voters rejected question 3, a proposal to create Pine Tree Power. University of Maine political science professor Mark Brewer broke down why he thinks we got this result.
Everybody's going to point to the spending differential, right? That you know the people who are opposed to that, vastly outspent those people who were supportive, and that mattered for sure. But I think that the message that really resonated with voters was that this was a risky proposition, right? The opponents were saying this is not a well thought out plan. There's just too much that we don't know, and I don't think those supporters of the effort were ever really able to counter that message in any meaningful way.
On the other hand, voters approved question 4, the right to repair. Brewer says he believes this outcome is partly because of the messaging that led up to the election.
Mainers want to have options, right? I mean, nobody wants to get stuck with just one option to go get something done, regardless of what it is. So I think that the right to repair message was an easier message to pitch and to sell than the message in opposition.
As for the 6 other ballot questions, Brewer says the results are unsurprising.
I think this was, as far as recent kind of referenda cycles in Maine, this one was relatively low key. The other items, I think, more or less went as people expected them to go. So I didn't see any big surprises.
Brewer says the turnout was typical of most Maine elections, but that's because voter participation is usually high.
Maine is almost always within the top 5 in the country in voter turnout at the state level. I think in Maine, there's a strong tradition of civic responsibility, and I think that really does have something to say about the importance of participatory political culture here in Maine.
For more on the election, visit our website at foxbangor.com. In Bangor, David Ledford, ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
Coming up on ABC 7 News at noon, we'll tell you about an effort to help veterans when we return.
If you're a Medicare beneficiary, call now to see how a WellCare Medicare Advantage plan could get you some big benefits, including this all-in-one WellCare Spendables debit card to use for over-the-counter health items. Find out how easy it is to get all of your original Medicare coverage, plus extra benefits. A WellCare Medicare Advantage plan is designed to fit your needs so you can be your best every day. You could have medical coverage, coverage for prescription drugs, dental, vision and hearing, and the WellCare Spendables debit card to make getting the coverage you need more convenient. The WellCare Spendables debit card can be used for over-the-counter health items. And here's more good news. You can get a WellCare Medicare Advantage plan with a $0 or low monthly plan premium. How can WellCare offer all of those benefits for a $0 or low monthly plan premium? It's simple. Medicare Advantage and Medicare Part D prescription drug coverage are important parts of Medicare. WellCare has a contract with Medicare to offer and provide these important options to you. Call right now to get your free copy of the WellCare All-in-One Guide. Call 1-877-282-3827 now. There is absolutely no obligation for requesting this free information. WellCare offers benefits that go beyond the basics, and we make them easy to use so you can support your best health. Call today to get your free copy of the All-in-One Guide with absolutely no obligation. Your free guide will provide information to make a smart choice for your healthcare coverage. Just call 1-877-282-3827. Remember, there's no obligation for requesting this free information, so call 1-877-282-3827. Call today.
Choosing Miracle Ear was a great decision, like when I decided to host family movie nights. Miracle Ear made it easy. I just booked an appointment, and a certified hearing care professional evaluated my hearing loss and helped me find the right device calibrated to my unique hearing needs. Now I enjoy every moment, the quiet ones and the loud ones.
Make a sound decision. Call now and book your free hearing evaluation.
You're watching ABC 7 Bangor.
Local elementary students stepped up to show their support for military ahead of Veterans Day. Students at the Ames Elementary in Searsmont have been collecting donations as part of the Hygiene for Heroes program. Students gathered items like toothbrushes, razors, hand sanitizer, and other personal essentials, as well as a number of different snacks. Members of the Belfast VFW picked up those care packages Wednesday, which will be sent to active duty military personnel.
When you're out in the army, you don't really get to just go buy a pack of bubble gum in the stores. It makes me feel good that we're helping out the soldiers and veterans that served in the army.
One of our troops who just recently joined our VFW, he was serving in Iraq in 2009 in Baghdad, and he got a package and it said Belfast, Maine, and it came from Rennie's. And he's a grown man in a combat zone, a solid, seasoned soldier, and it brought tears to his eyes because it was something from home.
Hygiene for Heroes has been a tradition for years, but this is the first time students have been able to participate since before the pandemic. As a show of appreciation, each student was given a star from a retired U.S. flag. Coles Land Transportation Museum in Bangor is working hard to fill an Army Jeep full of non-perishable items for the Maine Veterans Project. The museum participated in this fundraiser last year, but the donations that have been collected so far this year have been sparse. Julius Moreno of the Maine Veterans Project says all non-expired, non-perishable goods collected at the Coles Museum will be given to veterans during a food handout at the MVP office on Park Street November 20th.
One of the biggest things that with our organization, it's to make sure that they know that it is okay to ask for help. It is the hardest thing over the last 20 years or so of trying to get veterans to actually ask for the help that they actually need.
The public has until Friday to drop off donations at Cole's Museum on the Perry Road in Bangor. November is Pancreatic Cancer Awareness Month. To those battling the disease, many spots in downtown Bangor and Brewer are lit up in purple lights. As Jody Hersey tells us, this outpouring of community support is all thanks to Chris Parrish, a 15-year pancreatic cancer survivor from Brewer.
It was my job to beat pancreatic cancer.
Chris Parrish of Brewer was diagnosed with stage 4 pancreatic cancer in 2008. With no prior family history of the disease, Parrish turned her shock into action by getting a second and third opinion on her diagnosis, which eventually led her to the Cancer Treatment Centers of America just outside of Chicago for chemo treatment.
It was called intra-arterial therapy, which is like a heart catheter, but instead of going to your heart, it went to my pancreas and liver. And in a 15-hour period, it took 40 times the amount of chemo, and it just kept rotating through my system and my pancreas and liver. And that's what I really think really stifled the pancreatic cancer.
Parrish's treatment stopped in 2012. The same year, she decided to create the Purple Iris Foundation, a nonprofit created to raise awareness, provide support, and give hope to individuals affected by cancer, not just pancreatic cancer.
Because I knew I was put here for a special reason. I just didn't know what it was, and it found me. So in some respects, I'm grateful for my cancer journey because it's put me on the path that I was meant to be on.
Because of her bravery and her willingness to share her cancer journey with others, businesses have teamed up with Parrish to shine a light on the disease throughout the month of November. Mason's in Brewer is one of the businesses lit up in purple lights.
Yeah, it's just to bring awareness. So there's a lot of people in this area that have lost, and people to pancreatic cancer and people that are battling, and it shows support. It's community, and that's what we're trying to do.
In Brewer, I'm Jody Hersey for ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
After the break, we'll tell you about new research that may help you get the most out of your diet. We'll be right back.
Did you know that it's possible to buy the wrong type of flooring for your home? Whether you're a do-it-yourselfer or professional contractor, the experts at Don DeKalb Mainwood Floors are here to help, offering solid pro advice from choosing the right material and color to installation. Don DeKalb features the highest quality hardwood flooring sourced from lumber right here in Maine, from Maine traditions. Not only will you get a floor you'll love, you'll get a floor that will last. Don DeKalb Mainwood Floors, buy from the best, forget the rest.
My father started a roofing company in the 1970s.
Back when asbestos was still commonly used in Maine.
When George was diagnosed with mesothelioma, we knew there wasn't a cure yet, but we knew he needed help.
We called Joe Bornstein's office because this family means business.
Their team is handling everything, representing Mainers who were victims of asbestos exposure.
We highly recommend the law offices of Joe Bornstein.
Call Joe today for a free case evaluation. There's never a fee unless you win.
With AAA insurance, by bundling our home and auto policies, we saved over $450.
And we were shocked at the savings.
When we switched to AAA auto insurance and bundled our policies, we were able to save over $400 every year.
Switch to AAA insurance today, and you could save an average of $483 on auto insurance. Compare that to State Farm, Geico, even Allstate. Call now for your free AAA full picture quote to find out how much you could save.
Well, my passion is hang gliding. I've been doing it for over 30 years, and it's like flying. I mean, it's like everything you always dreamed about. AAA insurance helps us save more.
And do more.
The savings from AAA insurance has allowed me to pursue my passion of making jewelry. It's great to have a little bit of extra cash to do something that you love.
To find out how much you could save by switching to AAA insurance, call 866-460-1310 for your free AAA full picture quote today. You'll be glad you did.
At Hashie's Auto Enhancing, our focus is on the appearance, longevity, and value of your vehicle. Does your undercarriage look like this? You can go from this to this. And if you have a new vehicle, you can avoid this. Our annual undercoating service will add years of life to your vehicle. At Hashies, we also do Rhino linings. We can Rhino rocker panels, bumpers, trailers, side-by-sides, and more. We take pride in making your ride shine inside and out. Book one of our detailing packages.
Bring your ride to us to protect your investment.
Turning now to a new U.S. airstrike targeting Iran-backed fighters in the Middle East. On the same day, a U.S. drone was shot down in the region. ABC's Liz Landers has the latest.
This morning, new video of a U.S. military drone flying off the coast of Yemen when it's blasted out of the sky. Iran-backed Houthi rebels releasing the footage, claiming to show militants shooting down a $30 million American Reaper drone over international waters. ABC has not independently verified the video. The Pentagon yesterday also announcing a U.S. airstrike on a weapons storage facility in Syria used by Iran and its proxies.
Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin saying in a statement, the United States is fully prepared to take further necessary measures to protect our people and our facilities.
Iran-backed militants across the region have warned of a widening conflict due to U.S. support for Israel's war on Hamas. New video shows Israeli airstrikes targeting Hamas in Gaza, this strike near a mosque. Israeli ground forces say they've destroyed 130 Hamas tunnels, including one near a school. Talks for a pause in the fighting are ongoing. Sources say Israel is considering a proposal from Egypt and Qatar for a humanitarian pause in exchange for the release of dozens of hostages held by Hamas. Meanwhile, more than 400 U.S. citizens have been able to escape Gaza in recent days, including a Michigan man and his wife, finally back home.
Everybody's scared and bomb everywhere. When I go sleep, we cannot sleep. Maybe I sleep in the chair like 30 minutes a day.
Authorities in Brazil yesterday arrested 2 men with suspected Hezbollah ties, accused of planning attacks on the Jewish community in that country. In Washington, Liz Landers, ABC News.
A new study finds that focusing on healthy foods is key to reaping the benefits of a plant-based diet. With more, here's ABC's Liz Landers.
Plant-based diets can be great for overall health, but not all plant-based diets are created equally. Those diets were more likely to lead to better health and longer lives when they were higher in whole grains, fruits, vegetables, and nuts, while being lower in sugary drinks, refined grains, and animal products, including dairy and eggs. That's based on a study by the UK Biobank of over 125,000 Britons who were followed for 10 to 12 years. Those who reported eating healthy plant-based diets had significantly lower rates of death, cancer, and heart disease. They also experienced less heart attacks and strokes compared to those who reported eating less healthy plant-based diets. With this Medical Minute, I'm Liz Landers.
When we return, Devin Biggs has your 5-day forecast.
Are your gutters weighed down by debris causing them to sag and overflow? I'm Tony Hafford with TC Hafford Basement Systems. Clogged gutters lead to costly repairs for your home, so skip the cleaning and stop the clogs with Gutter Shutter. Gutter Shutter, the world's best gutter, is a high-performance gutter with a lifetime no-clog guarantee. Stop the clutter, get Gutter Shutter. Call TC Hafford Basement Systems today for all things basementy.
Nice. DraftKings Sportsbook is live in Maine. You'll be so dialed into every play that you forget to eat your wings. You made my wings cold, DraftKings. Flailing your arms like you can disrupt the free throw. Miss, fool! And a home run will have you crying like it's the birth of your child. I'm so happy.
DraftKings Sportsbook is live in Maine. New customers, download the app now and bet $5 to get $200 instantly in bonus bets. Because life's more fun when you're in on the action. The crown is yours.
Yeah.
Who likes to drink good coffee? At Carabassa Coffee Company, we roast premium quality coffee beans from all over the world. Roasted to perfection in small batches, our coffee is always fresh. We offer a large selection, including our specialty blends, organics, single origins, decaf, and flavor. Whether you like light, medium, or dark roasts, we have coffee to suit every taste. We offer flat rate shipping for online orders, and we ship fast. Carabassa Coffee Company. Drink good coffee.
You moved in as 3 people. You broke up, he left,
The two of you were in the apartment.
A girlfriend thought she was rid of her ex.
You, sir, allowed Jarrell back into the apartment because he was your friend.
Now she wants to call it quits with her roommate.
She wanted to move out. She was uncomfortable with him.
It wasn't only because I just only felt uncomfortable. He was like harassing me.
Who was?
Jarrell.
Next, Judge Judy.
Thursday at 5, only on ABC 7.
Even though Thanksgiving is still a few weeks away, a local middle school had a special feast of its own. On Wednesday, Herman Middle School celebrated its second annual Harvest Lunch with a spread made of entirely locally sourced ingredients. For the special occasion, the school invited the students' parents to attend as a way to bring the community together.
I think it's important to bring parents into Herman Middle School to ensure that they are able to see what we're doing in the schools, able to enjoy their time with the kids. I think community matters, and this is how we bring our community in.
In total, the school served 430 Herman Harvest meals. Now let's check your full forecast with Devin Biggs. Devin?
Today's full weather forecast is brought to you by Healing Hands Massage in Hamden, providing professional massage services tailored specifically for their clients. Stop by Healing Hands Massage today. You'll thank yourself later. As we get into things this afternoon, we've been watching a winter weather advisory in the northwestern parts of the state that will last until 3 o'clock or so. As we're watching wintry precipitation that will continue to move through from time to time. But thankfully today, we don't have the wind to deal with. It's causing some activity further out towards sea. But here on land, no, this offshore, I should say, we're looking pretty good with just 1 to 2 foot wave heights and maybe a little bit more active further off towards the north and east from those buoys. But otherwise, though, here's the precipitation here. It does not look very impressive. Some snow showers starting to move in from the west, going toward the east, mixing in with a little bit of rain from time to time as well. That'll be common in a few areas. But as we do zoom things out and give you the bigger picture, that's the area low pressure right about in here, tracking from the west, going toward the east, giving us that chance for a little bit of precipitation, a little bit of snow, a little bit of rain today as this all tracks off towards the east. So futurecast moving forward, though, again, a little bit of snow, a little bit of rain mixed in, maybe a little bit of sleet coming up later on tonight as well, as you can see right about. And here we have this pink showing up by around 9 o'clock or so. So make sure rain, sleet, and snow cannot be ruled out either. Then we'll start to clear this out of here after midnight, and things will really start to calm down as we head towards your Friday. So Friday looking to be a pretty good day. Just some clouds to watch out for as well, but we'll gradually be drying out moving forward with just some passing clouds. And even by Friday night, even in the parts of Saturday, we're looking pretty good as well. Maybe a little bit of wind, and that'll be about it there. As for any snow accumulations, this is the additional snow accumulations this afternoon, though. Maybe additional inch or so across the northern parts of the state before we're all finished up. Any potential for us to see any accumulating snow along and south of Bangor has pretty much passed, so we'll get a mixture of things, though, but any accumulating snow will be along and north of the Millinocket area. And we'll watch out for a little bit of gusty winds. Not so much today, though. We'll be pretty okay, but by tomorrow, though, we'll be watching out for gusty winds that can reach up to around 20 to 25 miles per hour at times before it starts to back off as we head towards late Friday afternoon. As our average high temperature is 49 degrees, we'll be below that today in the middle 30s, upper 40s by Friday, and a lot of 40s kind of sticking around in the next several days as well, starting Saturday all the way through Wednesday of next week, too. So your forecast for today, middle 30s, mostly cloudy. Some rain and snow on the way with that northwest wind getting up to about 5 miles per hour. Overnight tonight, lower 30s, rain, sleet, and snow possible. Some patchy fog as well, and an east wind at about 5 miles per hour. Tomorrow, upper 40s, mostly cloudy and breezy, with that west wind getting up to about 25 miles per hour at times. In your Healing Hands Massage extended forecast, partly cloudy on Veterans Day with highs in the lower 40s. We remain in the lower 40s on Sunday with a lot of sunshine, and a lot of sunshine again for your Monday with highs in the low 40s.
Thank you, Devin. Already talking about snow. That's all for ABC 7 News at noon. Thanks for watching. I'm Susan Farley. We'll see you this evening with Peter Dubois and Beth Jones on ABC 7 News at 6. Have a great afternoon.